right, Jamaican-born scholar and community leader Dr. Tashanna Walker-Valentine recently completed her doctoral dissertation at the Rutgers University, focusing on the impact of long-term policing on inner-city communities. Very interesting topic, particularly in Trenchtown, where she's from.
Well, with her research supported by prestigious fellowships, she hopes to shed light on pressing social issues and aims to drive positive change. Tashanna's commitment to academia, community development, and mentorship exemplifies her dedication, really, to creating a better future for marginalized populations. Urban geographer Dr. Tashanna Walker-Valentine joins us this morning. Good morning, Doc. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Are you getting used to the Dr. Walker-Valentine?
A bit. After a couple meetings and it's ringing my ears, I'm like, all right, yeah.
All right, sounds nice, eh?
Fantastic, yeah.
Soon, Professor, don't worry.
Talk to us a little bit about, for those of us who have no clue, what's an urban geographer? What is mapping? What is this?
That's a really good question. And really, I am a geographer, and geography has two broad branches. So there's human geography and there's physical geography. And under human geography, there's several tiers as well. Geography in general looks at the effects of the environment on people as well as people on their environment. So an urban geographer looks at the effects of the city and how that affects people's lives and how people living in the city affects the environment around them.
Brilliant. And one of the things I find fascinating is your journey in studying geography and ending up in looking at policing in urban spaces. Tell us a little bit about where you started and how you got to this very laser-focused topic.
So I really love geography. I've been doing it since undergrad. So I did my bachelor's at UWI in geography. And I was always so interested in urban issues. And initially, I thought my love was climate change because it was new, it was topical. So I was really interested in that kind of research. And then after I applied to Rutgers and did a year of study, I went back to Jamaica for summer vacation, as all international students do. And I see this, military occupation in my community. I'm like, what's that about? And so after a few conversations with my community members and my family, I realized that this is actually something that's affecting people's lives. And so I decided to pursue that as my research project. And the beauty with geography is that you can pretty much research anything that you want.
Brilliant. I'm so interested in kind of peeling away at this onion a little bit more and understanding your thought process. But we're going to take a brief break because TK is on standby with the news. We'll be back with some more conversation about what you're doing out there in the diaspora. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sunrise. Here with us is Jamaican-born scholar and community leader, Dr. Tashanna Walker-Valentine. She's an urban geographer, and she hopes to shed light on pressing social issues. She aims to drive positive social change. So before we went to the break, we were looking at kind of your ethos in terms of your academic underpinnings. What's it been like, just as a Jamaican, leaving the country for academic purposes? What are some of the things that you've found most striking?
I think for me personally, I had the privilege of visiting the US a couple times before, so there wasn't quite that culture shock when I came here for school. I think the main difference was that the way in which research is carried out in the US and Jamaica is quite different, because Jamaica education system is modeled off British education system, and US, of course, is modeled off American style of teaching and learning. So that for me was the biggest shift in learning.
I would really love to delve a little bit into your research because I'm really interested in that topic. Number one, Tashanna, how do you even start to dig and find the material that you're looking for? How long of a process does it need to be to determine the true impact? Walk us through the steps with this paper that you're doing, your dissertation rather.
Yes. So the dissertation process is a long process. It's at the tail end of your program.
Yeah.
So I did 3 years of coursework to just have that background knowledge necessary to analyze the data that I would be collecting once in the field. And then after 3 years of coursework, I wrote a proposal for my intended research, and that was evaluated by noteworthy professors, and they said, okay, here's the green light, you can go ahead, we agree with your methodology, we agree with your theoretical framings, etc. And then I spent a year in the field, that's living in Trenchtown, asking questions, observing, and doing all these different data collection processes. And then I spent 2 years just analyzing all that I found. But this was also complemented by my lived experience of being a resident of Trenchtown for 25 years up to that point, before migrating to the States, of course. I'm no longer 25.
Who could tell?
I lived in Trenchtown for 25 years before migrating to the US for doctoral studies. So it's a very long process. It's officially 7 years, but unofficially 7 plus 25.
A paper like that, or the research like that, with your findings, what do you see yourself doing with it? Do you plan on sharing it with the leaders of the nation to say, this is the impact, this is how we can plan ahead, this is what is going to happen in this community, or what has happened in this community? What's the intended purpose of the research?
Most certainly. Initially, when I started this doctoral journey, my intent was to do some kind of transformational change in policy. And I didn't know at that point it would be in this realm. And so my hope is that with the findings, I'll be able to provide some insight into the effects of militarization, into the effects of redevelopment plans on marginalized communities. I will be publishing my research as a book and in the form of several journal articles, so you can be on the lookout for that.
Nice.
I like it. I like it. And so, the purpose of academia is to create new knowledge, to add to the existing body of knowledge that's out there. You look forward to being quoted in some kid's essay sometimes. What's that aspect like?
Oh, yes. So I have a new concept that I formulated from my findings, and I can't speak candidly about it here, but it does give some kind of name to the behavioral and the psychological changes that happen once persons are exposed to long-term policing, poverty, and gang violence over several years. And so that will be coming out, and I'm really excited for what avenues or what tables or what conversations that concept will be brought into.
So that could very well be maybe something that people will be speaking about, and that now you're taking that into a whole new avenue of scholarship that other people will produce works on.
Yes, that's the plan. Thank you.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for representing Jamaica academically out there in the diaspora. Are you going to stay in academia now that you're done?
I want to do everything. Like a Jamaican, we want to do everything. My husband and I, we do a lot of outreach in Philadelphia. So we go to communities and high schools that are underserved and try to reach out and give talks as much as possible. And, I'm partially inspired by my sister's drive to do work in the diaspora. She was on 2 weeks ago, I think, Tajay. And so we kind of feed off each other's energy in that way.
Nice. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Really excellent.
Definitely.
Well, all the best. Continue to dig deep and find the information, because your work is going to lead to a lot of clarity for a lot of people going forward. So
Definitely.
Keep going, keep pressing.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, that was Dr. Tashanna Walker-Valentine, urban geographer, and it's time for a JN giveaway.
Send the money. Okay. More withdraw in a hurry. Alright. JN money card free. Okay. With your TRN and your ID. Alright. And when me no walk with cash, me just swipe like that.
All right, how many ways can you collect money transfers with JN Money, and name them? Comment your answer under the JN giveaway post on our page at CVM_television. And remember, in order to win, you must follow at JN Money 1.
All right, JN Money, the number 1. Yeah, all right. Well, testing, 1, 2. Mic check is up right after the break. Stay with us.
Testing.